It's a chilly Saturday here in Greenville, North Carolina. American basketball nearing the halfway point of league play. South Florida, fresh off a tough loss at Charlotte. East Carolina playing some great hoops. 2 straight wins and a couple of clubs right in the middle of the American as we pick up on this fun Saturday inside Minges Coliseum. Thanks for joining us for a great afternoon of basketball with Cy Seymour. I'm EvanBudrovich. Madison Little joins us shortly. This ECU offense clicking 75 plus in their last 2 games. Now USF has balanced 4 starters with 9 or more. What makes these offenses click today?
Well, today ECU has to continue to knock down the threes. 11 in each game against these last 2 wins from 5 and 6 different kids on both games. They had 5 different guys doing it. That's big. And again, as you said, South Florida balance, and they're deep. Guys get it from all over the place. They're big inside, they're big on the wings, and they got a great point guard. And
that great point guard, Jaden Reed, as a sophomore, has been even better than year one. What's allowed him to continue this success?
Well, I think one of the things, he was tremendous last year, and he's going to stay that way. He leads the categories in 5 areas of his team. He can shoot it, he can rebound it. It's crazy. He has to assist. All 5 of the categories he leads his team. But the thing is, the best about it, vision. He knows who to get it to, when to get it to him. Really top-notch point guard at South Florida.
Jaden Reed's been fantastic in league play, and that's the same for R.J. Felton. He's 6th all-time leading scorer here at East Carolina. What's made him click in the last 2 weeks?
Well, I think confidence. He's gotten it back. R.J.'s been a great player at East Carolina his entire career. Now he's knocking down threes. He's backing guys down. He knows how to do that. And the cast with him is now getting comfortable. Everybody's getting comfortable in their roles. That's a big deal for ECU.
R.J. Felton putting up all-conference type numbers the last 2 weeks. For more on this Pirates' success, here's Madison Little.
Well, Evan, ECU had struggled offensively through the first 6 games of conference season, specifically from deep, shooting just 26% from beyond the arc. But Coach Schwartz said even at the lowest of lows, he never tried to micromanage his team's shooting. He knew any struggles they were having were personal, so this coaching staff just continued to emphasize the importance of shot selection, something they've leaned on all season long, and this shooting has improved. The last 2 games nearly doubling that 3-point percentage. And Coach Schwartz knows that tonight against the Bulls, shot selection and staying confident in the game plan are going to be 2 huge keys for his Pirates. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Madison. It's been a tale of 2 weeks here for Michael Schwartz Club. Really good 3-point shooting. And the previous matchup, December 31st. So give me a sense, when you play a team twice in the first 7 or 8 games, how you adjust in the second matchup?
It is so difficult for both ball clubs. And what you have to do, you go back, look at the tape, you look at the Charlotte game for them. They're looking at ECU's games that they play. And the scouting report is basically the same. You'll make some tweaks. You just hope that your improvement in your team can take you through what's been going on.
Huge overtime win for East Carolina Tuesday at Tulsa, putting up a league best 85. And South Florida under interim head coach Ben Fletcher. An interesting road trip Wednesday at Charlotte. Had some travel issues, so got back late Wednesday and come all the way back up the state. But this team's ready to go. A really balanced offense for USF.
Yeah, they really are, and you got to give credit to their staff. They've just done a really good job in a tragic situation. And you know what I like about their ball club, when you look, there are no weaknesses. The swings are good, the power forwards are good, their center is good, and so it's the key to the point guard, Reed, is to get him the ball, and he does it well.
Let's get ready for tip in this 30th all-time meeting. South Florida won the previous matchup to end the new year. Now in the second week of January, let's get this party started. North Carolina native Deontay Green on the tip for USF. ECU loses the tip, and South Florida with the basketball here early. Here's a quick steal for Jordan Riley, who was explosive for Michael Schwartz Club on Tuesday night. Put up 20 plus in that comeback win, 27.
Well, and I tell you what, South Florida, USF does a great job defending the 3.
Here's Riley quickly to work, and fresh off 27. What a nice offensive start.
Yeah, nice job by the Pirates being patient. Riley saw he didn't have numbers, backed out, and set the offense.
Here's the starting 5 for Ben Fletcher. Kobe Knox is a 3-point specialist, over 43s this year. And a new starting 5 was C.J. Brown, the 2-time freshman of the week. As Brown lobs it up, Green a contested catch, and the Asheville native 2 quick ones.
Well, nice job against the ECU zone. They took their time, penetrated, and then got it inside. And that's how you have to do it.
Here's Coach Schwartz starting 5. Cam Hayes in his final season operates the offense. One lineup change, Trevion LeBeau, his first start since middle of November. And the Pirates do have 8 wins with this starting 5. A quick foul on USF.
Yeah, Knox grabbed the cutter. That'll happen when you're playing in this kind of game. The matchup's going to be interesting to me is how Cam Hayes can take the pressure of Reed. Reed is a great defensive player. And Cam is really a 1, 2, or 3 guy. That point guard is tough for him to get it in and work.
Cam Hayes in his 3rd school in 5 years. Fresh off a tough shooting game. 1 of 6 from deep, but had 5 assists in that comeback win over Tulsa.
Yeah, but he had a big one down the stretch. It probably was the difference in the ball game.
That's all it takes in these tight American matchups as Felton misses the 3. Battle for the boards, and it comes out to C.J. Brown. A quick lob ahead, and what a start for Kobe Knox.
Now, that's one of the things you can't allow South Florida to run. They're one of the top efficient teams in running in transition, about 15 a game.
Top 5 in the country in transition points. Great point sign. Here's some tempo off the miss. Jaden Reed the board. USF lives in transition, almost 20 points a game off opponent misses. Here's another lob shot that Felton gets the rebound. It's a 4-2 USF lead, 2 minutes in. We apologize for the quick issue with the score bug. We'll get that all situated. C.J. Walker operates for the Pirates. Felton left alone. And another miss. He's 0 of 2 from deep.
Well, you can't take it. Just understand you're going to miss somebody to get to you. You got to keep shooting.
Green to work quickly. His family was in attendance Wednesday at Charlotte. They made the trip down from Asheville again today. And Cam Hayes operates a Pirate club that in 3 American wins, scoring over 75 a game.
Yeah, it's been a good run, and nobody works harder than Mike Schwartz. Nobody. He's a grinder. He gets it, and he's doing everything he can to right this ship. It's just a pleasure to watch Coach. There's a lob dunk on the transition game. They're hard to beat. They really are. They do a really good job.
And that's going to be the story of this game side. Can USF take advantage of Pirate misses in transition?
Yeah, Evan, and they've done it all year. See, that's what they want to do. I like what USF is doing. They're trying to go inside early against the ECU zone.
An early miss for C.J. Walker. First sub of the game, Jan Farrell comes in for the Pirates. At 6'6", the St. Bonaventure transfer.
Yeah, he shot 41% his freshman year at St. Bon. He's a good shooter. Now, can he get it off today against an aggressive defense like USF?
St. Bonaventure now with Adrian Wojnarowski, the new general manager of basketball operations.
That's where we're headed.
We've seen that in the football world as well start to pick up in the last 3 years.
Yeah, different world, man. That's where we are.
Thank goodness we have Cy Seymour as our GM today. I'm EvanBudrovich, Madison Little patrolling the sidelines. A rematch of a thriller on New Year's Eve. Not just Andy Cohen and his friends on CNN. Good matchup here on ESPN+.
There you go.
Green is double with this matchup zone. Brown crosses. Another kick out to Reed. Active defense and another steal for Riley. That's a foul on Reed. Riley's defensive presence, that's huge for East Carolina.
He's great at steals alone and finishing. But Reed, that's a frustration. He got caught up here. And then Riley makes the play, as you said. And then he reaches in and gets the foul called. And that's just part of it. He'll be defending tough. They moved him off the point.
That's 11 straight games with a steal for Riley. You think about elite stealers and point guards that can make differences in this league.
And Riley's, he's quiet doing it.
As Walker gets inside, more hands from Reed this time. Reed runs the break and draws a foul. Really good defense leading to offense early.
Well, that's Reed. I mean, he's just a special player. Now, if you're Walker, you get it past the big guys, you got to go ahead and go and attack and shoot it. He waited, and Reed is going to get anything down low. Coming from a point guard, that's what you look for. When a big guy brings it below his waist, you go get it.
Jaden Reed was all AAC a year ago, first team all-league. And for a guard of that size as well, only 5'10", he makes a lot of things happen.
That's amazing. He breaks all the rules. He's really, really difficult. He had 26 against UAB. Now, come on. UAB is a strong program.
Maybe a top 10 defensive team in the country.
Yeah, that's right.
Broke them down for 26. And Reed gets his first points today. Keep in mind in that matchup in South Florida, Reed went 8 for 8 from the free throw line, held off a Pirate comeback on New Year's Eve.
Reed wants to call on Cam Hayes for pushing off. He's already looked at the officials.
Could be a busy day for our crew, led by Bharat Ramanan. Here's Hayes getting away with some separation and hits the jumper.
I know it was separation, but it wasn't into the first row. My goodness, I love it.
Either the Academy Awards being handed out or there was a lot of contact there.
Evan did the right thing. He did the right thing. Reed did the right thing.
To give you a feel, this could be a physical matchup. Mike Schwartz' team's always defensive-minded. And here's a quick deflection out of bounds, leading to our media timeout. Good battle early on through 4 minutes. A rematch of a New Year's Eve thriller. We'll come back with plenty more hoops after this timeout.
We call it drive. The unrelenting desire to become the person you were born to be. Ignited by a moment. The realization that a future you could only dream of is within reach. At East Carolina University, you won't just imagine a path. You'll forge one through hard work and the success that comes without surrender. The journey that leads to your future. And this is where it begins.
There's only one way to win. It doesn't have shortcuts. It's a spirit to outwork, outsmart, and outlast the competition.
Catch me if you can.
It demands boldness, grit, and guts. It says we can, and we will. It's what separates us from the rest.
Can you believe it?
There's only one way to greatness, and that's the American way.
Last time these teams met to end 2024, that was a physical matchup. USF had a double-figure point lead in the first half, and then give a ton of credit to Riley and Felton late, both in double figures, but too much USF late in that game.
That's right. As you can see, I think when you look back, ECU dug it deep. South Florida held on. It was just a tough basketball game. And again, I say this, with the transfer portal, just getting used to each other is very, very difficult. It takes a lot longer now, usually in the January.
Something stood out from that game, 47 combined free throws, very physical night, and the bench points tonight, both teams with their starters scoring. How do the bench players play a factor today?
Well, I think the bench will again play a factor, but it's always a factor with South Florida. But ECU, Woodard's come into the game. He's one of those guys can step up for you. Kobe Knox was the key in that basketball game down at South Florida. He knocked down shots, free throws down the stretch.
That was the most points Knox had scored all year, 18. As Jennings checks in, a quick drive from the bench and an early miss. Jordan Riley, who Coach Mike Schwartz said this week has been the most disciplined player on our team. He loves to see his results start to play a factor here.
He's that guy that comes to work every day and never fusses. Christmas night, he was in here shooting.
And then leads to 27 in his last game.
Just unbelievable.
Here's Riley backing down the new defender, Quincy Adamakoya, and beats him for a jumper.
And Adamakoya is a good player, a great defensive player. That's a heck of a shot by Riley.
Adamakoya, an all AAC caliber defender here for USF. Two teams that like to do the same thing defensively, wreak havoc with turnovers. Here's Green underneath and a block. Good hands from the Pirates and C.J. Walker. But that'll stay here on the deflection. That activity, 3 steals, couple of tips early for Coach Schwartz.
Yeah, nice job defensively. And Walker can do this. He's a quick jumper and gets the shot block. That's what he does. And then Riley comes in, loses it on the reverse spin. Kind of tough, could have gone either way.
When you hit the reverse, you got to cha-cha real smooth to
yes,
get out of
you
trouble.
do. Yes, you do.
Both teams each commit about 15 turnovers a game. The stats are nearly identical. That's why these records are so tight in the American. Now underneath, Brandon Stroud stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, you can't drive it that deep. It's just tough in there. But I love Woodard reaching in a little bit, got a little piece of the ball, and then Walker finishes it off. It's hard against the zone to get that kind of penetration. Look for South Florida to take more jumpers.
3 early turnovers for USF. They've been good with the basketball.
Yes.
Only
yes,
commit 11 a game. That's in the bottom third of the AAC. Here's Cam Hayes off a pick. Coach Schwartz talked this week about taking efficient looks, being confident in those. And Riley called for the push-off offensive foul. Because right now ECU's 3 of 6. That's a number you'd like if you're East Carolina.
Yes, yes. The key will be to, I think ECU's got to knock down some jumpers, but South Florida doesn't give you anything. USF is very good defensively, and ECU has to control the inside game, the tough inside game of South Florida on the offensive game.
What problems does this zone cause? It's 2 minutes scoreless now for USF.
It's been really good to East Carolina. That's what's changed. They've gone to the zone, and they do a really good job. And Mike Schwartz is a man-to-man guy. But this is what's working. He stays with it.
This defense has held USF off the board for 2.5 minutes. So Williams into the game. Jimmy Williams, the elite 6th man, kicks it to Jennings. No space. Here's Reed for 3. And the woes continue. Defensive board Felton.
But that was a great defensive possession by East Carolina.
Farrell walled off.
Yes, that's what they'll defend. They know who shooters are, and I'm talking about USF. They will defend it.
Coach Ben Fletcher said this week, we have to win the rebounding battle. ECU will crash the boards all night. So Felton drains an open 3.
That's a big shot for R.J. Felton. Oh.
And now some active hands. Cam Hayes the steal. Good passing to Walker. Everyone touching the rock, including Woodard for 3.
Woodard is a player, All-American junior college kid. He can really go after it, 6'7". He's not a three-point shooter, but a great athlete that can shoot the three.
A 10-0 run fueled by some good offense from deep.
Really good and a good timeout by USF. The Bulls needed here. And you mentioned it, Evan. They're not a turnover team. It's really unusual to see them turn it over this much, and ECU's making them pay for it.
Here's a snapshot for interim coach Ben Fletcher. A tough road record in league play, including a loss at Charlotte recently. Now, the challenge for South Florida have been really good at home, but how do you bring that success here on the road?
Well, you have one thing that helps you. Depth is one, but 2, you have a great point guard. So that's the things you have to have going for you on the road. But for ECU to pick up 2 wins on the road this early, that's a big deal. It's very hard in any league. I always say a conference win is good. A road conference win is great because it's very, very difficult.
It's 1 plus a birthday cupcake. Cy Seymour, happy birthday today.
Well, thank you.
Had a chance to mix that one in with Madison Little and Cy Seymour. I'm EvanBudrovich. Active defense from the Pirates forcing 4 USF turnovers. Kason Jennings works inside. Good matchup underneath and a banging bucket for Brandon Stroud, the Kennesaw State transfer.
I like Stroud. I think he's one of the most underrated guys from Kennesaw State. He can go inside, outside. He can do it all.
Excellent passing to find Walker.
But he got beat on the back cut. But he's right to get out on Walker. But a good back cut, good pass by ECU.
And the vision of the Pirates here, 3 straight assists.
How about that?
Good ball movement for Coach Schwartz early here at home. Reed gets inside. Lobbing it up like CP3 here in the state. The Wake Forest grad. Ray that time comes up short.
And listen, I thought Reed's ball was dead. I thought it was him. He's just a tough guard, but this zone is really good for East Carolina.
Talking to Ben Fletcher, he loves his mindset shift for Reed that's allowed him to jump from an all-freshman standout to now one of the better point guards in this league.
Give Fletcher a real credit. This is a tough situation, and he's done a tremendous job.
Here's Reed Kason in defensively affecting that shot. Good board for the Pirate bench. Now a dipsy-do dribble. Hold on, Woodard hanging on for life. Reed grabs it. Another loose scrum. Turns into a battle on the seas.
He's going to call a foul on
And
East
a
Carolina.
foul on East Carolina.
You got to love the work, though.
And I thought the state fair was in September. We got a jostling battle here after this rebound.
Man, that's what I love about Mike Schwartz's team. They're going to go after you.
Let's see, one guy has it, and then two, make it three.
And Mike Schwartz up on it, Evan. I know how he is. He's saying, wait a minute, Jack, that was both ways. You got to let him play through it. He's still working it. He won't give it up.
Could almost call it a jump ball and reset everything.
Yeah.
That said, it's South Florida basketball, one of its last 8 shooting for the Bulls.
Stroud will be a factor on this end. But Kobe Knox has got to be in play here at some point.
Here's Stroud on the mismatch. Nice defense from LeBeau. And then a jump ball will change possession. What has this activity done? How has it impacted it for the Pirates?
Well, I think ECU loves this kind of game. And now that, you're getting more play out of the big man. They've got 2 big men. They can do it better. They can afford fouls. Like Woodard's foul doesn't kill you. He's a good basketball player.
A 12-2 run as Woodard goes inside. Jay throws up a prayer. Case on the board, and it's stripped. Here comes Jimmy Williams. Jimmy quick to the bucket. Nice transition layup.
Man, he beat a good player in R.J. Felton. That was a great play.
Jimmy Williams, a JUCO All-American a year ago at Wallace State. And given your ties to the community college game, what a nice weapon to go to the lower ranks and find an elite player.
Well, and I think both teams have done that. And you know what it is, too? It's cheaper in the NIL part.
And some good experience. Both clubs have multiple starters with other school experience.
Yes, and JUCO ball is really good for this. I mean, they just have to have time to adjust.
Here's Farrell late in the clock, missing a 3. And now USF, one of the best fast break teams in the country, but a 5th turnover.
That kills you. You just don't want to do that. Give it right back after the.
R.J. Felton back with the rock. Another 3 is short. Williams, a big board for Jimmy.
Shooting it a little too quick if you're East Carolina.
Reed lets it fly. NBA range a bit off. Nice tip out. Williams gets it back. No easy possession for USF offensively.
Everything's hard, isn't it, Evan? Everything's hard for both teams.
Clock inside of 10. Green spins, Case in the tip, and Woodard hangs on to it.
Where do you go to get your offense where you're giving guys breathers and they all needed it? And so you go to the guys that are your stars.
And Woodard is fouled. That'll lead us to immediate timeout. Brandon Stroud called for his first. We'll step aside, and this East Carolina defense playing a factor early. 6-point lead for the Pirates here on a fun Saturday in Greenville.
Florida playing for their former head coach Amir Abdur-Rahim, who led the Bulls in a historic season last year before passing away suddenly in October. And the Bulls doing everything they can to honor him. They have a chair dedicated for him on the bench, and they're wearing his initials on their uniform all season long. Acting as head coach for the 24-25 season is Ben Fletcher, who told me this team is playing with a deeper connection, playing for him this season. And Ben Fletcher says he knows he will never be able to do what Abdur-Rahim did. He will never be Abdur-Rahim, but what he can do and what he is doing is working as hard as his former head coach did. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Madison. That connection to Kennesaw State has played a huge factor here. And Coach Abdur-Rahim, his daughter's now on the volleyball team at South Florida.
Yeah.
And just thinking of the family ties, so much going on.
And I'll tell you something, too. The word that we heard after the game here, what a wonderful man he was. I mean, people close to ECU's program said, this guy showed all the class to officials and players. He was just real special.
Right now, his club looking for some resolve, down 6 out of the timeout. Here's a deep three for Cam Hayes, a bit off. And a hustle for the board. Nice save from LeBeau for a fresh 20.
That's a big. Now, if you score here and you win by 2, that's the one that did it.
How about Felton for 3? Almost on cue. Defensive board Williams. USF, though, on this end. 1 bucket in the last 5 minutes.
The zone has been beautiful for ECU.
Jennings, good pass. Nice shot fake for Knox. Great drive. And Felton affects it, but a finish for Brown.
What a shot by Brown.
What can C.J. Brown do for you?
Oh, my God.
2-time freshman of the week here in the American. And both teams playing zone defense with 10 minutes left.
It's really amazing. But ECU, what they're saying is, okay, let's see you make a shot.
Well, right now, 3 straight misses from deep.
ECU struggling from it, and they're saying, shoot the 3 and let's see you make some.
Extra passing. Another corner 3 is off. Green the board. The Florida State transfer inside, and what a swap by Walker. Now Hayes runs the break. Great find, just a bit ahead of Riley. He was looking for the reverse alley-oop, George Mikan. Extra ball movement. Here's Kobe Knox. Big transition 3.
There's the guy that can get it done for you, Kobe Knox. And he's going to hit against that if you don't get back in transition. He 3 for 3 against ECU the last time they played.
He only missed 1 shot in the game. He had 18.
Yeah,
huge bench presence for interim coach Ben Fletcher. Coach Ben noted that Madison touched on this, but the resolve of his team has been at an all-time high. Right now, back to a 1-point difference. Riley late in the clock, down to 5.
He can knock it down. That's a good move by ECU. It's all right. Walker's a good shooter. I mean, that's not a fake play, and that'll get you out of the zone.
Here's Williams, wide open to the bucket. And what a swat on this end for LeBeau. Up ahead to Hayes, little tempo picking up.
Great job by USF to get back. Now you got to go to work here.
Walker on green. Offensive board, LeBeau. And how about the rebounding for the Pirates early?
They've always been good at it. But listen, my entire coaching career, offensive rebounding is hustle. You're willing to work harder than the other team. Mike Schwartz teams do that.
And that's an area Coach Schwartz said we spend extra time in practice on the offensive glass.
Yes, Dean Smith's teams at North Carolina, always great offensive rebounding teams.
Cam Hayes tips that out of bounds. In fact, the Pirates average almost 10 O-boards a game.
Okay.
That's played a factor here early. We'll take the timeout. A tight defensive battle here in Greenville. USF back within 3. We'll take the timeout on E+. Welcome back to Greenville. It's a busy day here in the American Conference. League leaders up to the task. Memphis has a big matchup tonight with UAB. That's elite offense versus elite defense coming up on ESPN2. Not to mention Wichita State and Tulsa battling it out. But how about more here on South Florida with Madison Little?
Well, Evan, the conversation on the Bulls bench was keep winning each media. They won this last media, so they're going to keep going. Ben Fletcher reminding his team to remain physical, something he told us was a key to this game earlier this week. He says offensively, we need to keep being aggressive, be more aggressive. Defensively, he says, keep doing what we're doing. Back to you guys.
And USF is now chipped into this lead, Madison. Great point.
Well,
ECU team looking to get back to 500 in the league.
Again, I think Kobe Knox, you have to find him in this zone. He's too good.
Stroud with a deep three to end the clock.
And talking to Coach Schwartz yesterday, I said to him, I like Stroud, and Coach Schwartz said he's a good one, and they are. They're a good basketball team.
Stroud was the defensive player of the year in the ASUN when Kennesaw State won 30 games and won the league.
Well, that tells you something.
Coach Raheem was a big part of that. Now his assistant, Ben Fletcher, leading the program, and Walker underneath with a point-blank miss. But an issue on the board, so it stays here.
Well, and again, this is a good physical, athletic USF team. It's not as easy as you think under there. Walker's going to get his usually. Just tonight, he's working hard to just stay alive out there.
Pirates one of their last 10. How do you find a bucket here, Cy?
Well, I think you do. You penetrate it. You have to penetrate and get something inside. You have to.
Little mistimed pass there between Riley and Felton, so a Pirate turnover.
They've got their best shooters on the floor, including Walker. But I think you have to penetrate the zone and then kick it out. That's what they did at Tulsa, and it worked for them against Tulsa.
USF's offense that went stone cold at Charlotte Wednesday, just 61 points. That was a league low. Now in attack mode, Brown gets some space.
Just a really good zone by East Carolina. I mean, Stroud made a tough shot from the corner.
Clock to 5. Williams teardrop. And a defensive board for Riley. He's got numbers. Hayes on the attack. The lob off the backboard, and Walker's there.
Nice job by Walker. Great play on the defensive end for ECU.
8-ball corner pocket, hit the side, and the dunk, just like he called it.
Just like you called it.
A rare transition bucket for the Pirates today. And here's active hands affecting the pass. Felton tips it.
And I notice, if you'll look, kids are coming out by both teams at pivotal times because of the pressure. There's the block, and then off the board, and then Walker with the finish.
A tip drill alley-oop
Yeah,
dunk.
I guess so. You know, you're thinking Riley's going to get it. No. Crazy.
Nice inbounds pass. And a corner three for Brandon Stroud. Or pardon me, Jimmy Williams.
And you look up, the three ball, they're now South Florida, who was down big, now up 1. Because of the three ball, it's so important to hit it.
3 of 6 from deep, South Florida. Here's Farrell. He responds from 3.
That's big for Farrell. They have, if you're ECU, they have to have it out of him.
And Farrell's been the guy, 28 threes this year.
Yeah.
Good ball movement. Another 3. Williams says, how about them apples?
And now what Mike Schwartz is saying, how long can I stay in the zone? That I know what he's thinking, but it's been good to him. They're making tough threes.
It's a game of patty cake. Each club hitting a couple of threes.
That's right.
So Riley gets inside off his leg. Good defense from South Florida.
Well, again, both teams, when you go in the paint, you're going to get contested. Now, how do you handle it?
An entertaining rematch of a New Year's Eve battle. This is the first of the doubles with teams playing each other twice here in the American.
Now ECU's gone man. Let's see how they deal with it.
Brown gets a slip from Green. Goes 1v1. And active hands. Cam Hayes, nice vision. Riley left alone. A rare miss. Defensive board Green.
You better get back. Whoop, Riley.
Then Riley almost steals it. He's the American leader in steals.
But now you have numbers, and that's what happens.
This is Stroud. No foul, but out of bounds. So it'll stay with USF.
Good job. No foul, though, I don't think.
Correct. C.J. Walker, a couple of blocks, 2 assists as he heads to the bench.
Boy, ECU has really gone small. You bring in LeBeau for him. You have very little size if you're East Carolina.
When 6'3" and 6'6" are your tallest players.
That's tough.
That's going to test a defense, especially on the boards. And these are two of the best offensive rebounding teams in the American.
I mean,
here's Stroud as we tick near 4 minutes, and a reach in. Touch foul on Jordan Riley. We'll see it here.
and that's his second. How long do you stay with him with 4 to go in the half?
It's such an art when you're one of the best stealers of the basketball in the country, and you try to play that game of where do I pick, where do I not.
It's a game of inches, isn't it? So you give Riley, you have to. You can't afford to get the third here in a close game.
It's a game that got Swiper in trouble with Dora the Explorer over the years.
There you are.
Because if you swipe too much, you get caught.
Exactly.
He has over 50 steals this year, so active defensively, but heads to the bench in foul trouble.
Now, and again, you are small on the floor.
Stroud enters the lane. Good active hands, a Pirate steal. Cam Hayes up ahead. This time he calls his own number, but misses the layup, and it goes out of bounds.
You got to finish there, and Woodard made a great play down here to get that block. Everybody's struggling, though, not just anybody struggling. There's a good pass out on it. You got to go. You got to put your body into him hard. No body into him means you're going to get distance. You got to get your distance by knocking him over a little bit.
A Pirate lead that was as big as 8. USF has responded thanks to three-point shooting.
There's the mismatch inside.
Adam Okoye comes back in. He's got some bright, shiny sneakers, but spins into traffic like a car wash. He slips to the floor, and a jump ball keeps possession here.
It keeps possession here, 5 on the shot clock. So that's a big deal.
And we'll take the timeout. USF back up 1. This has been a scrappy battle here on ESPN+.
It's got to be the Crocs. It's got to be the
Welcome
Crocs.
back to Greenville, North Carolina. We had a real tight game in this first half. It's the battle of Williams versus Walker. And more importantly, we talked about bench points coming in. USF +7 on the bench. What has made this game so tough to score? Very physical matchup.
Well, I think that's what you're saying it right. Evan, it's a battle of being physical. And the other part of it, ECU, you've got to knock down threes. They're 3 of 13. And South Florida, the difference in the game, USF is 4 of 7. They've hit 1 more 3. And that's about the way this game is. Who's going to knock down threes against this tough defense, because you can't get anything inside.
Adam Okoye late in the clock rattles out. Williams the board. Back up, no. Third chance tipped. And a foul on the push.
Yeah, it's
Adam McCoy got shoved out of bounds.
Farrell pushed. But ECU's small. I mean, they got to play like that. And he's livid right now, Mike Schwartz. He's saying, what about at the other end? We're getting beat to death.
This could be a matchup where both teams head homes with bandages and tape after this one. Nothing comes easy. So Stroud feeds Jaden Reed back in the game. Elite sophomore point guard hangs and hits.
Yeah, and that's against a 6'6" guy. That you can't get that matchup because at the other side of it, someone was having to guard a 6'9" post guy that shouldn't be.
And remember, Reed was 0-3 to start this game. That's a good sign if you're South Florida. Get involved offensively.
Yeah, if you're ECU, where's it going to come from? And you've got RJ's got a hit.
So Farrell uncorks the three.
That's the guy that hit a three for you.
Back-to-back threes for Jan Farrell.
So it's just this kind of game.
In the last two Pirate wins, 10 threes a game. That's been the difference. Just 4 of 14 today. Good rebound for Felton, whose head went over the bucket.
He can really fly. And listen, good defense on Reed. He's just a really good player, but he had to take a tough shot.
If you're Virgil Givens, the head track and field coach here at ECU, you're keeping tabs of that come triple jump season.
Yeah,
there's a nice bucket for
Yes,
Felton.
sir. You're right.
Think of some of the elite athletes in the Olympics last summer. He can make a difference in all sports.
I'm impressed that ECU's been able to go man-to-man. Woodard's on inside against the 6'9" center.
Deontay Green, a matchup nightmare. It's the hands of Felton. Now Reed attacks, challenges LeBeau, and he's fouled.
Well, LeBeau's a 6'4" power forward, and you're against an all-conference guard. Very difficult.
Farrell will sub out, and the elite shot blocker, C.J. Walker, comes back in.
Farrell did a nice job. Those two jumpers put ECU back in this ball game.
Already 6 lead changes in this contested first half. Now Stroud works in his bag. Adam McCoy on the shot fake.
Big mismatch inside right now.
Nice ball movement. Green for 3, and the Asheville native returns home with a triple.
How about that? Now think about that. That's a 6'9" guy stepping out and knocking down a 3. Maybe bigger.
When Deontay Green was in high school, he was the #1 recruit in North Carolina. That was 4 years ago now. But what a weapon. Played at Florida State under Leonard Hamilton for 2 years.
Right.
But never found a home in the lineup. Now he's an elite starter. This is Walker on Green. Walker spins, draws some contact. Free throws here.
Well, that's what Walker can do to you. He puts a lot of good moves. Got great footwork, and he's going to get here for the line. You got to knock down the free throws. It's that kind of game today. It's going to be nip and tuck.
I didn't see you as someone who watched Nip and Tuck growing up on TNT.
No, I didn't. No, I haven't. That's a good point.
Hey, it's all about learning different things every day.
There you go. Now, you've got a double duty today. You're going to be working hard today, man.
Women's game coming up, 4 o'clock versus South Florida. Absolutely. A fun day on ESPN+.
Good man to do that. That's hard.
As we tick near the halfway point of American Conference play, Walker misses both. Jennings in a scrum for the board. Nice hands by Brandon Stroud to come out with it.
See, missing both in this kind of game can be a difference maker.
Here's Green again for 3. Cam Hayes serves the rebound forward. You know, if I'm the czar of college basketball, I'm giving out half rebounds in my first year on tenure.
Not bad. That's a great idea.
I think a lot of players deserve credit when the ball tips around. Here's Woodard in attack mode. Draws a quadruple team and a foul.
I was wondering if they were going to call it. He got hit on the way up. Woodard has got a chance to be very good. He's got to hit the weights a little bit. He goes backside here. Watch him now. He goes up, gets him in the air. There's the foul. Late call on it, but he got fouled. This kid was an All-American, 6'7", can play the 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Woodard battled foul trouble in the first matchup against South Florida. 4 fouls in about 20 minutes. As he's still yet to get on the board from the free throw line.
And that's 3 straight misses from the line. Woodard's a good shooter. 71% in junior college. And that's what he was in junior time.
Pirates move 3 of 6 from the free throw line. We talked about USF balance. 6 different players have scored, none more than Jimmy Williams with his quick 8. And here's Williams. The challenge of this zone defense leads to an open shot. Good deflection by LeBeau.
LeBeau did a nice job getting out, didn't he? He did a nice job.
What a lob, and Walker couldn't finish. Walker again, walking his way in the paint for 2.
And I thought he got fouled, but a heck of a play.
Now that's elite athleticism.
Yeah, he is. He's an athlete. But now let's see. Watch how USF plays it here at the end. You got a great point guard. You're going to run a high ball screen. Now where do they go for the 3 or the layup? This will be interesting. Not even going to go for it. Going to back it off. Now it's a high ball screen.
Clock to 6. Reed with time. Enters the lane. Switches hands. No. Felton has a chance. Felton gets inside. Hayes 3. Off to end the half. And a game of lead changes 8 in the first 20 minutes. Fun battle with a 3-point game.
Really good basketball game. Both teams give everybody credit on the floor. Both teams.
We'll go to break and break this all down. East Carolina living in transition in that first half. How about this lob to keep things interesting? We got a 3-point game at the break.
Welcome into Studio A. I'm Maria Tribal Peace. If you've been paying attention to American basketball this week, you know that it brought with it buzzer beaters, top 25 upsets, and so much more. We cover it all on Top Plays. Let's start in New Orleans. Ashley Langford has the green wave rolling as of late. Sadie Shores behind the back to Amira Mabry, who lays it up off the glass. Passing with perfection seems to be a theme this week. Here's Charlotte and Memphis. Giancarlo Rosado has the ball at the top of the key, drives, needs to do something with it. How about a no-look pass to Robert Braswell? Just how they drew it up. Charlotte getting creative with that one. North Texas had some creativity of their own, in particular, Ariana Hardaway. Dribble drive, circus reverse layup up off the glass. Mean Green are 6-1 in conference play. Remember that upset I talked about? Well, it happened on North Broad Street in Philadelphia. Shane Dezzoni over not one but two Memphis Tigers. Temple wins this one 88-81. RJ Felton and East Carolina take the top spot today. Clock winding down. Felton pulls up from behind the three. Swish! Pirates win at the buzzer. If you see a top play, make sure you use the hashtag #AmericanTopPlays. Now, let's get you back out to some more action.
Welcome back to Minji's Coliseum. We got a tight one here at halftime. East Carolina up 3 in a game that's had 8 lead changes already in the first half. It's a busy stretch here in American athletic play, and worth noting some of the stars of this league. Yaxel Lendelberg continues to be one of the best players in the country for UAB. Another double-double, helping UAB be one of the best fast break teams in the country. And then it's worth noting for East Carolina, they've played their 2 best games on the road so far. Another nice start through 20 minutes today.
No doubt about it. And as you said, UAB, Andy Kennedy's a really good coach. And he's got, I think, the best player in the conference and one of the best players in the country. At 6'9", that kid can do anything. But if you're East Carolina to get 2 road wins, that puts you back in good position. You've played Memphis on the road. You've played a lot of hard games. This is a big game for them today. And listen, USF is right in the thick of it. All of these teams are pretty darn decent.
Yeah, and as we look at those conference standings, nearing the halfway point, Memphis has now suffered a first loss. It goes to show in this league not only the depth of it, but with Temple upsetting Memphis, that even 1 through 8, there is no guaranteed win in this league.
No, not at all. Memphis right now, I'll tell you, North Texas to me, quality players at each position, they're very, very good. I think that's a really good basketball team. But ECU, can knock any of these. When you beat Temple, who's at 4-2, you can beat anybody. And ECU's got a chance to win games, and they're playing well.
Wow, Jamal Mashburn at Temple's fun to watch.
Oh, what a treat.
Mashburn Jr.
Yes,
yeah, he's quite a player.
He is a really good player, and he can finish for you and get it done.
Well, good news. We're about 5 minutes away from the start of the second half. So far, it's C.J. Walker leading the Pirates with 8, and we'll come back with plenty more when we return to Minges. Welcome back to Minges Coliseum. Real tight game at halftime. 8 different lead changes so far, and ECU up 3 at the break. Thanks for joining us courtside with the coach, Cy Seymour. I'm EvanBudrovich. A battle of tempos in the first half. ECU's defense impressive early, and then South Florida shot their way out of some trouble.
Right, shot their way out of it right, Evan. And I'll tell you something else. Both teams, it's rough out here. When you were sitting where we were, everybody's giving everything. ECU leading in the boards, unbelievable for that, as small as they are. It's going to be a battle of who knocks down enough threes, I think, to win this ball game. 5
big offensive rebounds for the Pirates in that first half. And then the ability to force those steals fueled the Pirates in transition.
That speed and quickness never hurts. Riley, as you mentioned in the broadcast, one of the best in the business. But don't worry, this team from South Florida will be right in it at the end of this game.
And then Jimmy Williams has been a huge impact player, 8 points and carrying the load in this first half.
Yeah, done a great job. He's that good a player.
Here's some of the clips from Williams today, but 3 of 7, and every time USFs need a bucket, Williams is providing.
Williams is that kind of player. He can get up, and they dribble, penetrate, and pitch, and Williams comes through at the right times. He's a 41% three-point shooter, and he's that good at it, but that's part of their strength. If you look at ECU, you got to look at that. There's your threes. It's so important for everybody to knock down threes. It's 3 of 7 and also 6 rebounds.
It's been a huge impact addition for USF coming off the bench. Really good battle because C.J. Walker has been not only offensively but defensively making a huge impact.
That's what Walker can do. He has great timing. He can finish at the end. He can fly up and get it, and that's what makes him so great. And he loosened up and got really strong near the end. missed the dunk, got his rebound. Don't usually see that, and then put it back up and in. So you got to give credit. Those two guys have played well. In the second half, who steps up? Who gets it done? And right now, it's a toss-up. Two good basketball teams.
C.J. Walker having a nice bounce-back game offensively. 8 points, and just 1 rebound. And in this first 20 minutes, one, if there were a slip and slide stat, there'd be about 12 of those. Both teams have hit the court a bunch. And then 2, for a USF team that's very strong rebounding, the Pirates +6 is a big number.
That's unbelievable. That's real credit to your coaching staff, because they outwork you on the glass. I mean, that's what they're doing. And that's a credit to Mike Schwartz and his staff. But give credit on the road what USF is doing. This is a ball game that will go either way, and it's going to be fun to watch in the second half. Who comes up and steps up?
USF been the more efficient team from deep, and that was the story down in Tampa at the end of December earlier last year.
Yep.
And as we gear up for the second half, going to get some thoughts from Madison here in just a moment as we dive in. Any big keys for you, Cy, in this next 20 minutes?
Well, I think the key is for ECU, with the lack of depth, they have to stay out of foul trouble with Walker inside. The other part of it, they got to knock down threes at a better percentage rate. Now, if you're on the other end with South Florida, continue to do what you do. Let the point guard lead it, look for the open shots, and use your bench and its strength.
Here's the time capsule for Mike Schwartz Club. One thing with that 7-5 record, Coach Schwartz said, I like the road performances for his team. And for more on these coaches in the first half, here's Madison Little.
Well, guys, I got the chance to talk to both coaches during the break. Ben Fletcher for USF told me he likes his team's physicality. That's a big point of emphasis they had coming into this game, something we talked about earlier. He says they're doing a good job handling ECU. They've done a great job of getting out in transition, and that's something that Mike Schwartz, head coach for ECU, emphasized at the half with his team. He says we need to do a better job in transition. Part of that being we need to make shots fall. We need to get better shots, because when we miss, they have the opportunity to rebound, get out in transition fast. It all ties back together. Ties into what we talked about earlier, guys. Shot selection for ECU. Back to you.
Thank you, Madison. You can write an encyclopedia the amount of times Coach Schwartz told us this week, shot efficiency.
Right. And it's been a problem today. Shot selection, getting open, it's very difficult today. That's a great point.
Pirates this year 9-4 would lead in the half. USF has trailed the half in 2 of their last 3 wins. So this game is far from over as we kickstart the next 20 minutes here in Greenville. 30th all-time meeting between the Pirates and the Bulls. Quick look inside for Walker to open the second half, and draws a lot of contact, and one for C.J. Walker.
And that's a setup from the half from Mike Schwartz. And they just gave a fist punch to each other. Riley and Coach Schwartz gave you go inside and attack him, gets him up. Heck of a finish. Nice job by ECU.
More importantly, that's a 3rd foul on Deontay Green, one of the better post players here in the AAC.
And what are you going to do if you're ECU there? I mean, if you're South Florida, how long do you stay with it?
The USF team that'll roll 8 deep. And one of the better bench scoring teams in the league today, just 13 off the bench.
It's been a great defensive ball game by both teams.
If you like battles to 50, this could be your kind of game here on ESPN+. Knox is checked back in for USF. He had 2 big threes in the first half. Green given space, and that's where his game can evolve offensively.
Yeah, Mike Schwartz didn't like the way that worked. It was his zone, but it just didn't work. And listen, you let that young man, he can really do the job inside. I really like the way he plays.
More paint touches early for Walker. Back-to-back possessions, a wild shot, and he gets his board. Somehow throws up a prayer, and I believe fouled on the shot.
And maybe, let's see where he gets it. Let's see where the foul goes.
And if this is on Green, it'd be his 4th. Okay, Green gets the bailout, not on him.
He's lucky to get away with that.
Adam McCoy called here. Let's take a look. Yeah, the reach in for Adam McCoy.
I like him too. He's another good one. Missed the first one, a little short on it.
That's been a bugaboo today for ECU. 4 of 8 from the free throw line. C.J. Walker, who's 74% on the year, has been really good at times. Today, though, is having some bugaboos.
They can come back to haunt you instead of a 6-point lead. You know, you got to look at stuff like that now.
Here's an open 3. Adam McCoy is short. Riley on the board. Little numbers now for the Pirates. Walker back inside. 4th touch of the second half. And another loose scrum. Riley dives on the court.
Went out of bounds with, I believe.
He was the last one to touch. How about the activity of Walker? What's impressed you in this half?
Well, he's going to do that, and he's really got great foot moves. Really, really unbelievable. Got it deep, usually finishes there. But a nice effort by South Florida to just pinch him. And at 6'9", Green's that big. I mean, he's a big-time player.
When we think of elite hustle players, Ryan Nembrand at UConn has been excellent diving on the court. And then here in the American, Yaxel Lendelberg, all AAC.
Yes.
Guys who can get on the court and make things happen, help you win championships at this level. Here's South Florida looking to get above 500 in the AAC, going inside to Green. He fires away, and back-to-back jumpers here in the half.
That's a big-time shot, and it's a nice-looking shot. It's not luck. He's got good form. Got to get up on him or he'll knock it down every time.
Riley inside of this zone for South Florida. Daring the Pirates, who are 4 of 15 from deep, to work the ball in. Riley does just that and beats his defender.
How about that? Good job by ECU to be patient. As we talked about, Madison said it, good shot selection.
What a 3-game stretch for Jordan Riley, 20+ in his last 2. He continues that today. Green this time goes left and draws a reach in on Walker.
And I'm not sure what East Carolina was in. Kids were all over the place. I'm watching. Here goes Riley finishing up inside. Gets really heavy pressure. Nice job with the left hand.
And Mike Schwartz said we want to change up looks on almost every possession against South Florida, frustrate this balanced lineup. So Reed goes over that balance. Walker tips it out on the defensive board. And now it's the 11 for Walker that's carried the load for the Pirates today. That pass intercepted. Brown off and running. The all-freshman has a tip by Riley into the cheerleaders.
Nice job by South Florida. They doubled down, and then trying to pass out of it, they cut off every passing lane. Nice job by the Bulls. He gets it down here. He's looking. They cut off every passing lane. Nice job by the Bulls.
Those are the passes Josh Allen has to avoid tomorrow if the Bills are going to upset the 2-time Super Bowl champs.
You're right.
You know, Josh Allen in the playoffs has no interceptions in his last 8 games. We'll see if that holds tomorrow.
Good. What a war that's going to be.
A trip to the Super Bowl on the line. Right here, this is a huge matchup to get above 500 in the league as Hayes rattles out the 3. I'll stay on this end. The Pirates' offensive rebounding has frustrated South Florida on this end.
And, I've seen high school teams that were short and could get up quick. That's what ECU does on a different level, a little bit taller, but it is so hard. They're quick to get up and quick to get there. Hard to defend it.
And when your guards like R.J. Felton are the top rebounders, it's an all 5-player investment. Almost 12 offensive rebounds a game for Mike Schwartz club. So Felton heaves a 3. Look at that. Riley gets the old board. Back inside. Walker the jam. And this offensive rebound playing a factor.
Riley, and it's tough. It's hard to handle.
East Carolina living on the glass. 9-0 boards today. And in a game where points are hard to come by, every possession as Green goes back up.
See, you just don't have that guy. That's tough. Nice job, nice answer by the Bulls.
Deontay Green was held in check. Just 4 points Wednesday. He's having a coming out party. 11 today. Felton takes on the undersized Brown. Spins in his grill and gets 2 more.
Well, if Riley or Felton get you deep, they're going to finish. And usually Walker does, but today it's been tougher for him.
That Felton and Riley duo, 51 points on Tuesday. Today they've been held in check, but a couple of buckets here in the second half. Knox gets space. Extra ball movement. Reed the shot fake. Okay, Reed, another good pass, but through the hands of Adam McCoya and a turnover.
But a lot of that was the defensive rotation. ECU did a really nice job rotating.
ECU's forced 8 USF turnovers, leading to a timeout. The Pirates back up 6 as their captain R.J. Felton's going to work.
It's not easy. Not everyone can do it. You have to be bold to be at the top, to be one of America's leading research universities, to generate an annual economic impact of $6 billion, and to be 20 NCAA Division I teams strong. Without a shadow of a doubt, the Bulls' impact on Tampa Bay is boundless. Be bold.
There is only one way to win. It doesn't have shortcuts. It's a spirit to outwork, outsmart, and outlast the competition.
Catch me if you can.
It demands boldness, grit, and guts. It says we can, we will. It's what separates us from the rest.
Can you believe it?
There's only one way to greatness, and that's the American way.
Welcome back to Greenville, North Carolina. A strength of this East Carolina Pirate team is on the offensive glass. That continues today. Not only 9-0 boards for a Pirate team, but they're one of the top 20 rebounding teams in the country today. Cy, how is that rebounding played a factor?
Oh, it's the whole game. I mean, you look, that's 9 extra touches. That's 9 points, usually 50%. That's what it means to you. The other part of it is this. How about the first play of the half? Mike Schwartz comes out, gets him down low and isolated, and it set the tone for ECU.
And when the Pirates out-rebound opponents here at home, they're 7-1. It's been such a strength of this ECU team at home.
Yeah, it's part of the key. But see, they go back to the zone. They're concerned about ECU.
Who is 4 of 17 from deep, but a couple old boards on those misses, including Walker, who tries the slam. Felton hangs on. Here's those extra possessions Coach Schwartz preached all week. Walker wants a touch. He's got double figures. Challenges Green. Pass is tipped. Felton through 4. Somehow lays it in.
Unbelievable. Nice job. How about the whole series? They got every loose ball, did everything right.
All of a sudden, the largest lead for the Pirates now at 8. Green's been the straw that stirred this USF Cup in the second half. He's got 6 out of the timeout. Walker's right in his grill, and Hayes takes it. Cam Hayes on the break, creates space, and that's offensive. Little armbar that time.
You have to, you extend, you're in trouble. Put your shoulder in them, not your arm. You'll see it coming up. The good steal by Cam Hayes, great steal. But watch, he'll extend the arm. You cannot do that. If he just stayed with his shoulder in him, he'd been in good shape.
So Hayes will head to the bench because he picked up his first foul.
Yeah, he's done a good job all night for ECU. Now, you really don't have the pure point guard on this whole ball club. Samara hadn't played, and that's a big loss for ECU.
Jay Woodard comes in the top of the zone defense.
At 6'7", he causes havoc out there.
Williams looks to break down the zone. There's not many angles. Out of McCoy baseline. Jaden Reed, a deep 3 that rolls out. Offensive board. Back up Stroud, no. Off his noggin. Tip drill on the floor. Saved Woodard. Williams misses the dunk. Here's Felton. Walker back to him. Missing the layup. Out of bounds. Hold your breath. Buckle up on E+.
Both teams. You thought both teams had a layup. Doesn't work. Great pass, though. Great pass by Walker and Felton.
Almost 2 SportsCenter dunks on one play.
I mean, that's right. Boom, no. Now you go to the other end. You get, look at the pass from Walker back, and he just lost it. Tough break.
Are we not sure there's been popcorn handed out during timeout breaks? A lot of slippery fingers on these possessions. Clock inside of 10. Now a drive for Jennings. He throws up a prayer and earns a foul. That's on Woodard. Coach Schwartz not pleased.
That's a tough call, and I'm not sure Mike Schwartz is going crazy. We'll see it on the replay here, but Mike Schwartz went crazy. It's been physical all day. That's a tough one.
And the Rick Barnes disciple has preached defense is important. That's a big foul here.
Okay, that's an offense. See there. See the bullying in, and he got ball. That's a tough, tough call for East Carolina. Must have shown it. That's a tough call.
Free throws for Kason Jennings, the Kennesaw State transfer, who's part of a quintuplet of players who joined Coach Abdur-Rahim from a championship club. The DNA of South Florida, reigning regular season champs, plus the Kennesaw State experience. This is a battle-tested team.
Yeah, you're right. Abdur-Rahim, what a guy. When you're a coach, that's a guy you miss. I mean, he was unbelievable there and had a great career. And he still got it over here. I'm sure they're playing for him. He'll be missed by all of us.
A lasting legacy for sure for South Florida.
Yeah.
You see the patches on those jerseys, and here's USF fighting back. Down 10, have cut it to 6. South Florida's won 5 of the 6 meetings in this series under Mike Schwartz. That's a big bugaboo on his shoulder. He wants to beat some of the best teams in this league and elevate ECU from a middle-of-the-pack team at 7 wins last year up into that upper echelon. The play of Walker could certainly help. He finds Riley. No look, Walker 3. And a tip drill rebound for Jimmy Williams.
Tough shot for East Carolina, man. That's hard when the great defense by South Florida, USF.
Here's a pink touch for Brandon Stroud. That pass is tipped. There have been no easy looks for South Florida offensively.
Either team. And one of the greatest nights I saw, you'll love this. It's this kind of game. And ECU won it. And Seth Greenberg was coaching South Florida. He got kicked out. And it was just a crazy night across when you were watching those two teams go at it.
This rivalry runs deep now in the American.
Oh, yeah,
it is neat.
Yeah. That's when they made the move to the Big East. They were in the old Conference USA at that time.
Last Pirate home win in this series 3 years ago when Vance Jackson went off for 15. How about Reed coming to life, but a missed 3. He's had a slow start, 1 of 9 today.
And I think it's the rush of the game. I don't think it's anybody's fault. I think everybody's missing because you don't get much of a break here.
This is like dropping toddlers off in the morning. Non-stop chaos.
Yes.
And who can make a play under pressure? Felton is doubled. There's a lot of pressure on him. No look for a 3, and that time the Pirates hit. First triple of the second half.
And that's great for LeBeau. He's not a three-point shooter, but Felton found him, and that's a big-time shot. Nice job by LeBeau.
5 threes for the Pirates today. They've made 10 or more in 2 straight games, back-to-back road wins. Here's another 3. Williams is off. And on this end, USF 0 for 4 from deep in the half.
And again, both teams are just, you hit one, it's a great day. You're going to back him down. There's no weak side.
Reed, the undersized all-conference sophomore, defending. Good ball movement to LeBeau. Clock to 10. Leaving a wide open shooter and the best three-point threat of the club.
That may be a timeout right here. Let's see.
Makes his 45th 3. I know you roll the dice when somebody's 1 of 8 from deep, but that was a wide open look. As Reed gets inside. Jennings, nice pass. Here's Knox. That's where he's deadly.
And that's the guy that did it before. Now they'll take the timeout. But Knox is a guy that can knock them down. That number 4, I like the way he played against ECU before, and a big-time shot.
That becomes immediate timeout. It's a 3-point battle here in the last 2 minutes. 9-point game. Don't go anywhere. You can't upset Cy on his birthday. Stick around. Welcome back to Greenville, North Carolina. ECU up 9, or hot start, and Madison Little with more.
Yeah, Evan, well, Coach Schwartz told us coming into this game, his team was starting to find their rhythm. They had this game with an asterisk by it because USF is a team that on film and on paper has all the components. They're the league champions from last year, and they beat ECU a few weeks ago. So Mike Schwartz says that's what this team, his Pirates, are trying to be, and that's what they're chipping away towards. And ECU healthy for the first time through conference play. Their players have battled illness. Multiple players out. This is the only 4th game of conference play they've had everybody on the court, and first time everybody's been at 100%, so doing well so far.
Yeah, Madison in the previous homestand, Coach Schwartz was battling the flu, so everybody was getting hit.
Yeah, he could hardly move over there, and good reporting too. Listen, I really believe with NIL, you're not going to hit your strengths until after Christmas, and the other part, I think they should be able to play other teams in the summer. Somebody's got to get a hold of this and let these kids learn each other's games.
So here we hit mid-January, and these clubs finding their form with the clock inside of 10. Riley on the double team. All of a sudden, 3 seconds. Riley's got to go. Step back 3 in his face. What a shot.
My goodness, great defense. Tremendous defensive effort. Big-time shot by Mr. Steady. Riley, he just gets it done.
Riley's putting up player of the week type numbers, 27 Tuesday and a big 3 there. Foul underneath on Walker.
Well, the officiating tonight, they've let them play. Look at it. There's 6 fouls being called by both teams, and there's 10 minutes to go in the game in a physical, and I like it. They're letting them play.
That leads to a very quick timeout, but Riley is cooking for 3. South Florida balanced scoring with Green 11. We got a tight one here in Greenville. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Greenville, North Carolina. Strength of the Pirates is on the offensive glass, and those rebounds have led to the difference in this game so far.
Yeah, that is the difference in the ball game. Hustling of both teams is there. And then it goes back to, and we were talking about, the 3 balls gone the last couple of possessions for ECU.
R.J. Felton, a rebound shy of his 5th double-double. That's a big part of the glass battle. And in that matchup down in Tampa, it was South Florida that won the rebounding battle.
Yeah.
Little different story today, plus 17 for the Pirates.
This is a big possession after a timeout.
Here's Jennings in attack mode. USF has yet to see much from Reed. They're all conference guard. And another miss.
Great defense by ECU, but you go to the other end, it's the same thing. Everything is hard earned. The Bulls the same way.
Walker challenges Green. Good rebound for Brown. Brown, an elite passer, runs the break, sets up Knox. A second three in the half.
That's him. That's what he does. That's what he will do. He will knock them down. You don't get the call at the other end, but that's the way it's played. Then you get a three against you. You got to be real patient finishing here.
Coach Fletcher loves Knox's ability to run to the corners in transition. You see that a lot in the NBA.
Yeah.
Next level shooter.
Only 2 fouls on South Florida this half.
On this end defensively, what a block by Brown. Now numbers.
And numbers with Riley down.
Williams sees the 5-on-4. Gets it back. Williams enters. Tip drill, no. Walker the board. He's got 7 rebounds now for East Carolina.
That's a big miss, but great hustle and retreat and getting back to make them get off balance to shoot it. Now this in the floor, watch South Florida play defense. They're brutal, and I love it. I mean, I'm talking about good in a good way.
Yeah, very physical defensively. Walker challenges and beats the defense.
It's a heck of a pass and finish.
He's got 15 and counting here to carry the Pirates.
An unbelievable play from the wing. I mean, Knox with the 3 earlier, knocks it down, gets him back in it, and then the great pass, and then the foul coming across from the weak side. Walker finishes.
Now here's been the question for Mike Schwartz Club. Can they make their free throws today?
That's right.
This is an American Conference. 5 teams in the top 100 in free throw shooting.
I know.
Hard to put that all together, but a league that's been really good at the charity stripe. Today the Pirates are just 4 of 9. Make it 4 of 10 and a rebound for Brown.
And Woodard had the tip. If they'd have kept another man up, Woodard did a nice job of getting the tip off of him.
USF trailed by 15 against Charlotte on Tuesday. Almost had a comeback in their grass. Let's see what Coach Fletcher's club can pull off here. Good passing. Green, another look. What a finish for Brown.
Well, how about Brown going up above everybody? I mean, that's just unbelievable.
C.J. Brown, who's 6'2", he can touch 11 feet. What explosive leaper.
But you know, you do the right thing. You had to breathe Riley. I mean, he's just.
Now the activity of Kobe Knox defensively here. Challenging Hayes. Walker a 3. He's only made 9 all year, and that one's a miss. Probably a shot you live with if you're South Florida.
Yeah, and that's right. And he can hit that, but you do live with it.
Down to 10 for Hayes. He's 1 of 6 today. Wants a second and delivers.
Well, he had the big man on him, and he backed him off a little bit, and he knocks it down. Good, tough situation when you're that height, and he shoots it over. Nice job.
5 points for the nearby Greensboro native, Cam Hayes. Green, the long 2. Analytics hate that shot, and a defensive board for Woodard.
Woodard just does a lot of good things. Just a lot of things that you don't show up. But a great job by Cam Hayes on that jumper.
All of a sudden, East Carolina plus 9 in this second half. They've had 5 different players score out of the break. A lot of balance. Hayes off the double. Woodard, good ball. Walker again. Everyone touching it. And a corner 3 continues for LeBeau.
I'm surprised that Walker didn't take advantage inside.
If you're Mike Schwartz, couldn't script it a better possession offensively. And he said coming in, 3-pointers could make or break our team. They've made 5 in the second half. Adam Okoye inside. That's an air ball. Green moving bodies. Tip drill, no. Defensive board. All of a sudden, an ECU team that's won 2 straight thanks to its offense. Finding some good defense today.
Bucket here, you got to take a timeout.
Woodard the alley-oop pays the find. Timeout, South Florida.
Loud in here right now. If you're East Carolina, you got to be happy, but it's not enough, and you know it and I know it.
What a difference 26 days can make. South Florida, the win down in Tampa, and we'll take the timeout here in Greenville. All Pirates in the second half. This 8-0 run sends us to break.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome back to a rowdy Greenville, North Carolina today. East Carolina looks to get back to 500 in the American, and it's largely due to its defensive presence, holding South Florida scoreless over the last 2 minutes. And we talked about the last 2 road games for ECU. Big offensive nights, 75+. Today it started on this defensive end.
Yeah, it's the defensive end and 40 rebounds. In your 6-minute mark, you've got 40 rebounds to 22. That's a big deal.
Pirates only average 35 rebounds a game, so that's been a huge day on the boards. Make it 41 and counting. LeBeau on the glass.
Mike Schwartz holds up the hands for the breaks. Run your offense here.
In the first half, it was a game of lead changes. In the second half, it's been all East Carolina. Walker challenges. Here's Teardrop Strong. Now, if you're South Florida, how does tempo play a factor here late? So Brown gets underneath, knocks the 3. That's his 3rd of the half.
I'm telling you, there's nobody like him, and he can bring them back. He's beautiful against East Carolina. He's fun to watch.
We told you in the open, the transition game is huge for South Florida. They're 3rd in the country in transition points.
You know, and in that possession, they kicked it back out, and I thought, okay, they'll start their offense. He just knocks it down.
Really difficult look.
And quick, too quick.
And now Brown runs ahead. Numbers South Florida. Brown swatted. Was that goaltending? Maybe not.
No call. And they're livid.
Play continues. Coach Fletcher wants an answer.
And Coach Schwartz is right. You've taken 2 quick shots. You've got the lead in possession. You got to be smart.
Cam Hayes draws an offensive foul. The hook. And the super senior in game 130 commits the turnover. Coach Schwartz can't believe it.
That is a tough call. Probably a makeup for the thing. They thought the goaltend was here.
Yeah, let's see. Is there any? Does that ball hit the backboard first?
No, he got it on the way up, and it didn't hit the backboard.
It was still rising. And then here's Hayes in the hand fighting. A little contact there on both.
That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised.
Now can South Florida take advantage of this extra possession? Here's Stroud, triple teamed. Nice ball. Jennings 3, another miss. And there's the double-double for Felton, who's fouled on the rebound.
They only have 3, so you're not in the 1-and-1. That could come into play down the stretch. Yeah, really, you're still early in this game, but it's just been a good basketball game to watch.
This battle between Brown and Hayes has been physical all second half. Both these teams emblematic of their coaches. No space. And Mike Schwartz wants a timeout.
Coach Schwartz doesn't like the way to get, and he wants somebody coming to him.
And that becomes the 4-minute media. This could be a real physical battle here in the next 2 minutes. And when we come back, we'll break it all down. South Florida shooting 1 of its last 7. Need to hit a couple buckets here if they're going to cut into this 14-point lead. Welcome back to Greenville, North Carolina. A second half dominated by the Pirates, not only defensively, but there's a chance now for 3 straight games with 10 or more threes. That's opened up the court for the
Changes
Pirates.
everything for East Carolina, and I think it's also a part of this maturing process with new players. It's just very, very difficult to do. Tonight they played well, but you're not at the stage of the game where you're playing the clock and not South Florida. You're still playing South Florida till the next 2 minutes, and once you get there, if you've got 12-point lead or so, you play the clock. They're not there yet.
South Florida has 2 double-digit comeback wins in the second half this year.
And this can happen. It can happen. I want to wish Patrick Johnson well. He's sick as a dog, usually does the play-by-play. Thank you for coming over, but I'll tell you, I know he's really under the weather.
Hope the best for everybody. Good to have some health continue as R.J. Felton goes late in the clock, missing the 3. How about LeBeau with the board? And that's where the Pirates have been so big. Double-digit offensive rebounds again. Here's Riley for 3. That could be a dagger here in Greenville.
You are right. You are so right.
10 3-pointers for the 3rd straight game. That's an area Mike Schwartz has emphasized. If we hit threes, we're a dangerous team.
And the more you read about college basketball, the 3 ball is the key. The 3 ball is the key. You've got to hit shots.
There's C.J. Brown with the jumper. From an analytics standpoint, the Pirates are the bottom 10 in the country in 3-point shooting coming in. But hitting 10 of those can really open things up. That's an area where Memphis has been elite, over 40% as a team for the first-place Tigers.
You got to set ball screens for your point guard.
Brown in the grill of Hayes as we tick under 3 minutes.
Right.
Riley throws one up. And LeBeau with his 3rd offensive rebound in the half.
No.
Hayes can't make it work. That was a quick shot.
You go 20 more seconds, it's 2:10.
Still some time now for Jimmy Williams. Williams gets inside. No good. Tip drill to Felton, who earns a foul, and he's been a monster on the glass.
Yes, and they're still not in the 1-and-1, so now you've got 30.
So now clock management becomes a factor?
Yes. You were there when Hayes took the jumper with 20 on the shot clock. You're really trying to run clock if you're East Carolina. And they're going to foul. They're down. They're going to be desperate. And I used to literally go to the officials and say, they're desperate. They're going to be fouling us. You got to call it. I really would. I'd tell them that.
There's not been a game with a ton of fouls. Both teams still away from the bonus. Coach Fletcher electing to defend with clock as we tick near 2 minutes.
They're playing open is what they're doing. They're spreading it out and looking for Walker inside one-on-one or a drive by yourself.
Riley the crossover. Good hands from Reed. How about this heave? That goes off. And an offensive board, LeBeau. How about his ability to attack the glass? And now the foul game
LeBeau
begins.
has killed it. LeBeau has played. He's gotten the weak side board every time. And again, still not in the 1-and-1, so you get another 20.
It's interesting, LeBeau's best rebounding game was against South Florida this year. He had 5 boards. Something about this matchup's unlocked him.
It's 2 threes. See, that's what kills you if you're South Florida. You're saying, okay, LeBeau's not going to shoot it. Let him take the shots. Well, he knocks down 2 threes. Now, you know you're going to run this down to 120. You're not going to take something smart.
Mike Schwartz searching for a 3-game win streak here in the American, and it's been a balanced team effort. Hayes late in the clock, a bit short. Okay. What a dive by Riley, and he earns the foul. How did Felton get to that ball? Timeout ECU.
That's unbelievable.
And he's getting dogpiled by his teammates. No lollygaggers on this court.
Well, let me tell you what this really is. This is Mike Schwartz. His coaching, it personifies how his team plays. They're grinders and rough, and they're good. And now they're getting confident, and that's scary.
That offensive rebounding has been amazing to watch today. I mean, Felton literally dove on top of the court, had the awareness to call timeout, And this is a big stretch coming up for East Carolina at Temple, who's 4-2 in the league. And then maybe the best team defensively in the league, UAB, comes up in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're right. Your Temple's good. When you go to Temple and you look at the fifth highest, sixth highest team in wins in college basketball history is Temple. It's just a great place to go. I always enjoy it up there. But ECU whipped them early. That's a great win for them. Now, you said it right. I think UAB, again, I say Andy Kennedy's one of the best. He does a tremendous job. But the league itself is winnable by everyone, including Memphis is vulnerable. They are. So this is going to be a fun February.
Coming up to Charlotte on February 15th. It is a busy slate of road games here for the Pirates the next 3 weeks. And then after Valentine's Day, it's spring sports season. All kickstarts February 14th.
Baseball, what a great game. ECU has a great ball club, and you call a lot of baseball games.
Baseball, softball, lacrosse, all the spring sports get cooking here in a few weeks.
I love that time of year. I do. I just love to see kids playing. That's just me.
I love when it's not 45 degrees outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Which will start rolling here in March and February.
You're right.
R.J. Felton, who has 14 rebounds, who's doing everything right on the offensive glass.
And you run that clock. You're playing the clock now. There's Riley.
Now a game of work on the clock.
Oh,
this is
smart.
Walker with 3.
That's smart. And almost got that board, but it's down to a minute.
Jaden Reed down 15, has some work to do for South Florida. He has been held in check. 1 of 9 shooting. Adam McCoy hits the 3.
They can do that.
And that snaps a 2-minute scoring drought.
Now if you're ECU, you get it to your free throw shooters. They're still not fouling. I mean, that's big. You foul LeBeau. He's not.
It looks like South Florida's going to concede the clock here. Although a kick ball for Walker, that keeps the game alive.
You've got to learn. You're not shooting anymore. That's what it boils down to. He hits a 3 here. Now everybody's in the game.
Stroud goes underneath. South Florida's got a tough stretch as well coming up.
They can't get a shot off. That's just what ECU's done all day.
Yeah, too much
it's down
time
to
running.
20 seconds.
Here's Stroud for 3. Green the board. South Florida on the verge of dropping a 3 and 4 in the league. Another good 3 for Knox, though. It's too much too late.
Yeah, what a great defensive stand by ECU.
This crowd at Minges Coliseum very excited. A 3-game win streak in league play. R.J. Felton, a career high in rebounds, and the Pirates dominate in the second half.
Great win for ECU, but a wonderful effort by both ball clubs. They've been on the road twice this week. South Florida in bad weather, delayed flights. It's all like that. That's what you go through. But a good win for East Carolina.
An 8-0 run, too much too late for Coach Ben Fletcher. And all of a sudden, Mike Schwartz Club, 2 good road wins and an impressive defensive performance today.
Yeah, really great job by the whole crowd. And listen, well-deserved. This team gives you everything. Good win for ECU.
10 threes for the Pirates. That's a 3rd straight game they've opened up their shooting.
That's the magic number, 10 threes for ECU, and it changes them completely.
Seeing a barrage of shots, including a perfect 2 for 2 for LeBeau from deep. And let's go down to Madison Little with Coach.
All right, CJ, we'll have RJ here shortly, but you two have been a dynamic duo, one of the top duos in the American. How do you feed off of each other when you're on the court?
We just try to make it happen every day. We put a lot of time in practice. You know what I'm saying? So, and we play with a lot of confidence, so that's what it is.
Well, it wasn't just you two, it's this guy too and multiple ECU players. What does this dominant win say about the depth of your team?
Shoot, we had to get that get back. That's all I gotta say. You know what I'm saying? We had to get that get back.
Ain't no get back. We playing a hard playing team. We trying to continue to execute and play that way. That's 3 games in a row. So I'll just say that we got to build off that and keep it going.
Well, Coach Schwartz told me you're your best when you're rebounding well, and you had a career high in rebounds today. What was working for you with the boards today?
I would say even my shot wasn't falling today, it's always different ways to impact the game, like defense and rebound, those stuff that you can control. I would say I emphasized that in my game. Coach told me to get on the glass. I did that.
And you guys said it, a get-back game for your team. How has your team grown since the first meeting with the Bulls 26 days ago?
I would say we had implemented new plays and new different strategies in our defense. I would say that we build off that. We practice that every day. And I'm gonna say this. We some dogs.
Well, congratulations.
Yes, ma'am.
Back to you guys.
R.J. Felton is definitely a dog man, not a cat man. We learned that today. He puts up a season high on the boards and a 9-point win for the Pirates. Thanks for joining us here at ECU. It's a doubleheader. The women's game continues on ESPN Plus after this. For Cy Seymour, the birthday man, Madison Little, I'm EvanBudrovich, Kyle Gaskins, and our crew. Hope you enjoyed it. East Carolina, a third straight win here in the American.